Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, we want to thank all of our fans, our sponsors, our patrons. We appreciate all of your guys' support. Everyone that's bought us a cup of coffee, been greatly appreciated. We've had a rough couple of weeks here in the family, been out of work for a week and a half, coming up on 2 weeks, thanks to our old friend COVID running through us. I don't want to take up a whole lot of time with the usual spiel, so all of you guys that are interested in what's going on with Sin City Living and what we plan on doing in the future with our live streams and upcoming events, please stick around to the end of the video or skip to the end of the video and watch. I will put most of that stuff in the ending spiel, and I will try and update it every week or two with more news. Otherwise, that being said, we're just going to go ahead and jump straight into today's video. So for today's video, I want to answer some questions that I get a lot in the comments and in emails on ratings. Now, I know we've filmed a few videos on this stuff before. Our longtime subscribers, I know you guys have seen these before. But for our newer subscribers, because we've already crossed over 300 videos, and people are not going back through watching every single video, so we are going to hit repeats on some of these subjects every so often. And this one is one that tends to come up a lot, so I thought I'd go ahead and give some more information on it or dive back into it. Thank you, everybody, very much for the coffees. I cannot tell you how much we appreciate those tips and support. This month, with the whole family going down with illness, me twice, our income took a massive hit. So those coffees you bought us actually went towards bills and towards my son's 6th birthday party and his really cute Baby Yoda birthday cake. But moving forward, they will definitely go back into the coffees that we feature on the channel. Thank you again, everybody. It's very appreciated. The help was huge. It was absolutely huge. So ratings with craps. So the first thing I want to say, when it comes to ratings in the casinos and people that are playing for comps, go play slots. That's what I'm going to tell you. You're going to earn more comps playing slots than you will on table games. And why is that? Very simple. Let's think about this. Now with blackjack, you got a fairly speedy dealer. You're probably going to get four hands a minute. That's pretty reasonable if you've got a fairly skilled, speedy dealer, 3 or 4 players on the table, maybe a little bit of chatting going on. So 4 hands a minute, $10 minimum bet, let's say. You're looking at $40 average bet. $40 average bet, or I'm sorry, not average bet. You've got a $10 average bet. You're looking at, say, $40 a minute being factored in to your rating system. Now let's look at a slot machine with, say, a $3 max bet. Most of them are between 3 to 5 now, so I'm just going to say a $3 max bet. $3 max bet, you're on, say, a penny slot, and I don't know about the rest of you guys, but if I'm playing a slot, I'm probably hitting that button about every 2 seconds. Let's say every 3 seconds, just to build a little bit of a padding there. Probably hitting that spin button about every 3 seconds. Right? So that means that I'm spinning 20 times a minute. At a $3 max bet, that means I'm basically gambling $60 a minute. You know, if I'm on a $4 one, then I'm now at $80 a minute. $5 maximum bet, I'm, as far as the system is concerned, betting $100 a minute. So you tend to earn more comps on slot machines. Now, it kind of shifts over a little bit when you start having massive buy-ins, because it's very difficult to go to a slot machine and play with $10,000. Even going into the high limit room, just sitting there feeding hundreds into the machine can take you 10, 15 minutes if you're trying to bet $10, $20, $30,000. Versus on the tables, you'll be able to do that. It may seem like you're generating more comps, but in reality, what you're generating comps just based on your high average bet. More than on the play. Plus, with the amount you're playing, that's also where you're going to get things like rooms and stuff like that. Now, one thing I want to say with ratings and comps and stuff like that, rooms are a separate thing. Getting discounted rooms, it's called a casino rate, or getting a free room, that's separate from the comps that you earn on your card. Now, not every casino has a point system. They'll all have a point system when it comes to the videos, the slots, the video poker, Keno, stuff like that, where you'll earn points. Some casinos, however, don't do a point-based system when it comes to the table games. Instead, it just tracks your play. It just tracks your play, and if you want a comp, you go up and ask. You go up and ask, and they will just take a look at your play. If you have played sufficiently, have a high enough average bet for a long enough period of time, then whatever it is you're asking for, they're going to be more than happy to do, be it a buffet or a cafe or a coffee house or even their steakhouse, high-end steakhouse, whatever else, whatever restaurant they may have. It's all going to be based off your average play. And that's the first thing that most people don't understand. What you buy in with at the table does not matter. You can buy in for $20,000 and you may be rated less than someone that bought in for $500. It all depends on your play, not your buy-in. The casino doesn't care what you bought in for. People that buy in for a high amount and then barely play, we call that a false drop. It's a false drop. They're trying to game the system. And back in the day, that would have worked. Nowadays, that doesn't work because we don't care what your buy-in is. We also don't care what you leave with. So we call it rat holing, where you try and sneak chips into your pocket so when you color up, it looks like you lost. It doesn't matter. Your win-loss does not matter. All that matters is your average bet. That's it. That's all that matters. There's a little bit of weight given when we look at your average play. We may glance at your win-loss, but that's only if you're real borderline on the comps. Generally, we're just going to look at your average play, and that's it. It's only if you're borderline on whether or not we're going to deny you a comp that we'll take a look at your win-loss. Now, again, your average bet, your average play. So if you were a player that plays a $10 pass line bet and 15 in odds, I know you can't see the odds, but that's okay because the odds are not rated. Those odds, or they shouldn't be rated. Some places will, or some boxmen will rate it, but in reality that should not be rated because it's basically an invisible bet. It's an even money bet to the casino over the course of time because it's true odds, it's even odds. The player does not have an advantage, the house does not have an advantage. It's a bet that just basically does not exist over the course of time. So they won't rate it. So you'll be rated for $10 average bet right there. Now what if you're a player that, say, plays 34 inside? Right? This player would probably be given a $45 average bet rating, at least from the get-go. If you were a presser, a mid-presser, a power presser, whatever it may be, this is where it starts getting tricky. Because generally the system is going to track how long you played and what your average bet is. So I'm not going to sit there and change your bet, your average bet in the system every 2 minutes. What I'm going to look at is I'm going to wait and see how high you press up at. Most pressers have a point where they start saying same bet, or maybe they regress, stuff like that. So I'm going to see how you play. I'm going to see how you play, and then I'm going to adjust your average bet. Right now, this player has a $45 average bet. But let's say they press, let's say they catch a 20-minute roll and they get everything up into, maybe they get up to, say, 200, 240, 240, something like that. Cool. I'm not going to give them a $680 to $700 average bet because the very next shooter they're going to be back down to $44, and they may not ever press up to that point again because that required a truly exceptional roll. Right? Maybe on average they don't ever press up any high. Maybe they don't ever make it higher than 50, 60, 60. Depends on the type of pressing. If they're a one unit, mid press, whatever it may be. So we're going to take a look at your average bet, and we're going to figure out your average bet based on your play. You know, a player like that, maybe I give them a $75 or $100 average bet. It's also going to depend on how long they play. If they got up to that $700 on the table and then played 2 or 3 more shooters with, you know, this 44 action and then colored up and left, well, if they only played for 45 minutes, they only saw like 7 shooters or something like that, then I'm probably going to give them an average bet of like $200. But if they play for 8 hours, then I'm probably going to give them an average bet of maybe $75, maybe 60, depends. And the computer systems are also not dumb. They do have spots that we could put in there, your low bet, your high bet, and let the computer figure it out and calculate out your average bet. But again, you're based on your average play, not your buy-in, not what you color up, not what you win or lose, and not what your highest bet is. Your highest bet is not going to be what you're rated on. You're going to be rated on your average bet. Average bet. Keep in mind, too, when you're a player that's handing in your player's card, that there are a lot of hidden benefits. There are a lot of benefits that are in the casino that are not necessarily advertised, shown, pops up on your player's card or on your pamphlets or on your emails you get, that are certainly available within your casino. See what all is within your casino that you are staying at or that you have the player's card for. And then that can give you an idea of what you can ask for. Obviously, you accrue points for things like free play, maybe comps at restaurants, stuff like that. Maybe you earn comp dollars. Some places have the comp dollars that you accrue. But that's pretty much it. Maybe you can use those comp dollars at the gift shop or at the restaurants, and then you've got your free play. And to many people, that's all. That's it. That's the be all end all. Unless they have a fairly high amount of play, then they can go to the casino manager, shift manager, and ask about a discounted or free room. And then that tends to be where most people stop. But there definitely are other things that won't show up. Does your casino that you're staying at have a movie theater? A lot of them have movie theaters. If they have a movie theater, you can go to the shift boss and ask the shift manager and ask, hey, is there any way I can get a couple of movie passes? Right? And that's not even something that's really connected to your card. They may look at your card, depending on how many passes you're asking for. But if you go up to the shift boss or you go up to the pit boss and say, is there any way I can get a couple of movie tickets for me and my friend, or me and my wife, me and my husband, whatever it may be, they may call the shift boss, say, hey, I've got this player who's been playing for the last 6 hours. He's just looking for a couple of movie passes. Sure. And the shift boss drop on by, hand off a couple of movie passes. Those are definitely available. Is there a bowling alley? If there's a bowling alley in there, you could also go to them and say, hey, you know what? Tomorrow morning we want to go throw a couple of games. Anyway, we can get some free game passes. Those aren't connected to your points, your comp dollars. It's not something that's going to automatically show up or print as a coupon when you swipe at a kiosk. Those are things you have to ask for that most people don't know is available. You don't realize that's available until you ask. Right? So look around your casino, see what there is. You'd be surprised what's there. Is there a small little ice cream shop? Hey, is there any way you guys can get me a small little comp to the ice cream place or to the coffee shop that's over there, or whatever it may be? Whatever is in that casino, generally, for the most part, they should be able to do something for you. There might be something available. Whether or not they can actually do it for you, there's usually something available. So there's a lot of hidden things that you can get as well. So I hope you guys find this interesting, enlightening, illuminating, just plain fun. Thank everybody for tuning in. We will catch you next time. Bye now. Okay, everybody, and as promised, all the usual blah blah that I try and do at the beginning of the video, we're going to go ahead and put near the end of the video. And here we go. So thank you, everybody, for your usual patronage. All of you that are patrons of ours, we very, very much appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who's been buying us a cup of coffee. Love to say it's going to coffee right now, but this month with the entire family out for COVID, it's honestly going to Bill's and probably the kid's birthday in a week. But we definitely appreciate it. We're going to continue working on these live streams. I know you guys have seen some of them popping up. Just got to figure out the look of it, and some of the audio is still giving me issues. But hopefully we'll be getting those live streams and the craps tournaments going as soon as possible. Really just going to depend on scheduling. My schedule changed, Amy's schedule changed, kids' school schedule is fun. So once we figure out exactly how all those schedules are going to work, we'll let everybody know. And otherwise, please continue emailing us with anything you would like to see videoed. And again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you guys. We'll catch you next time. Bye now.